So this unconditioned state of consciousness is something that's easy to miss because there's no real content to it. There's nothing to grab hold of. And yet there it is. It's just listening. It's just watching. It's not commenting. In that unconditioned consciousness, there's no commentator. There's no interpreter of the moment. And that's the first sort of taste, you might say, the first foretaste of our true state, our true nature, is that unconditioned state. The me does not like that state. It likes the effects of the state. It likes the effect of unconditioned consciousness. The me loves the effect because it feels very good. But the me does not love the unconditioned state itself because there's nothing in it for this me. Does that make sense? Is it, well, what am I going to believe in then? What about my point of view? What happened to all the people I blame in my life for my miserable existence? Well, they just disappeared. I like the effect of their disappearance, but I don't like the fact of their disappearance. You see, that's the me. It's like, I like how it feels, but there's no way I'm going to let it disappear. I want the state without the truth. Right? So this is a bit threatening to the idea of oneself. Or maybe it's not. Don't just believe it is because I say it is. Maybe it's not. Maybe there's periods of time where the me will just be fine. I'm happy to not have any opposition. Of course, at that point, it's really not there anymore. So let me end with this. The idea is not to get rid of a me. The idea is not to be suckered in by it. See, there's a big difference. As long as you're trying to get rid of it, you're trapped by it. The only thing that tries to get rid of a me is a me. Unconditioned consciousness, it could care less. It has no idea of getting rid of anything. Such ideas are totally foreign to ideas themselves are totally foreign to this unconditioned state. Ideas can arise from it, just like ideas can arise from the conditioned state or the me state can generate ideas and thoughts. Ideas can actually arise from the unconditioned state. The difference is they'll never be believed to be the truth. But don't see this as something now that there's something to get rid of. It's not so much getting rid of me as it's not being suckered in by it. In spiritual terms, they would be, say, not being attached to it. But I like more practical human terms, like not being suckered in by it. Everybody knows what it's like to be suckered in by something, to fall prey to. Like those people that sell magazine subscriptions. That I've fallen prey to more than once. Oh yes, that sounds wonderful. I didn't know I wanted that magazine, but yes, and you give them your money and everything, and then 4 months later you're wondering, where's my magazine? You think, oh, suckered in again, and then they come to the door and they're always so nice and sweet, cheerful, happy. Andrew Kelly. Could be. Could be anything. They're not. Maybe you've received magazines from door-to-door salesmen. That's fine, but I haven't. But I do know what it is to get suckered in. So it's not that you get rid of something, you know. I mean, yeah, just imagine that you thought, if in order to be free I have to destroy every magazine that I don't like. There's no freedom at all, would it be? You'd be out there burning magazines and getting arrested for the whole life. Much better to go, who cares? Print all of them you want. Send as many salesmen to my door as I want. Once you know, you're not suckered in by it anymore. It doesn't matter whether... So the me is sort of like that. It's not getting rid of something, it's just not being deluded by it, not being suckered in by it. It's easier said than done. Part of the silence around here is so that each person starts to become very intimately familiar with their own, the way they're hooked up to be suckered in by their imaginary self. You'll see it happening in sometimes very overt ways and sometimes very subtle ways. But the easiest way to know that it's happening is when you start to feel divided inside. That's the light that goes off. Oh, I'm no longer in harmony with what is. Conscious harmony. Of course, it's all one, so therefore you're always in harmony. I know the whole non-dual thing. It's all true. It's all one, and so you're ultimately all in harmony. Yeah, and as a human being, and as an experience in each and any moment. All that matters is what you're conscious of. That's all that matters. Besides, if anybody who knows it's all one, they're not in opposition, period. End of story. That's how you know that you know. Make sense? If you actually know, if you've realized, if you've awakened to, however you want to put it, if you know that it's all one, then you're not walking around in opposition. That's how you know. The idea all is one is no proof that anybody knows anything, is it? The proof is the effect. That's how you know. You know by the effect. You know by the fruit, as they would say in some traditions. You know by the fruit of it. You know by the effect. The effect is you're no longer in opposition to what is. That's oneness lived. Because that's the effect of it. That's the effect of knowing it. So anytime we go into some opposition, it's a little light that reality sends itself. That just is reminding itself, oh, not going into delusion here. No longer in harmony with what is. And that's a wonderful thing to have. If you didn't have that, we could all be lost in our own delusions indefinitely. We all would be probably lost in our illusions indefinitely, except, if just by chance the dice rolled right in our turn. But if there was no way that we were hooked up to have reality tell us that we're in illusion, no one would probably ever wake up. But everybody is hooked up, so delusion doesn't feel quite right. It just doesn't feel right. When we don't feel right, what most of us human beings do is we try to change everything, right? I don't feel right, so I want you to change, or I want the world to change, or I want, because I want everything to change and then I'll feel right. Or if it gets internalized, I'm going to change me and then I'll feel right. All of that is just misguided thinking, though. If you remember the basic, simple principle, when there's a state of disharmony or suffering, it's an indication that we're no longer in conscious harmony with what is. We're in opposition. So you don't need to get rid of something You don't need to get rid of yourself. You don't need to alter the exterior environment. You don't need to alter the interior environment. You just need to see what you're believing that's causing you to go into opposition with what is.